Hello, I'm Randy Palmer, and you're in the music room. Well, these headlights are looking forward to the Oklahoma border. We're leaving Arkansas, all these trees behind. We're gonna roll across these ranges, these wide, empty spaces, down gravel roads to peace of mind. With these wheels, they're pointed westward through the scrub oak and the red dirt to the acres my great-granddaddy claimed. It's a farm, it's family, it's good hard red winter wheat, and everyone knows my name. Out on the high plains, for each mile along this road takes me to where I belong. I'm going home to the high plains. And these wide lines slap the rhythm to a new verse being written to the songs I've been singing all my life. Well, there is no mystery, I did not fit Tennessee, and I'm on my way to clear blue sky. If you look across the horizon, you might see a dust cloud rising behind a 1999 beat-up Ford. My name is on the mailbox, my key fits the door lock, and my favorite chair, it's on the porch. Out on the high plains, for each mile along this road takes me to where I belong. I'm going home to the high plains. City lights, Milky Way's gonna shine so bright. This blind man, he might receive his sight, yes, once again. Out on the high plains, for each mile along this road takes me to where I belong. I'm going home out on the high plains. And these headlights are looking forward to the Oklahoma border. We're leaving Arkansas and all these trees behind.
Wonderful. Welcome to In the Music Room, Randy.
Well, thank you.
So glad you're here. I know it was a long drive from Amarillo.
Yes, it is. And
yeah.
But it was this. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
We're excited to have you.
And,
tell us a little bit about the song High Plains that you just played, which was a great song. I could hear John Denver if he was still alive doing it. You know, it's just got a really nice.
Well, it's a song. When I was in college. After I was in college, I spent a short time in Nashville, working as a staff writer back in the day on that. And this reminded. The song is about my last trip back to the High Plains when I left Nashville and was leaving it behind and moving on, going to get married, and moving back to my roots, as it were. And so I'd been writing that song for a long time. And then my friend Randy Brown, we were together at a conference, and we instead of we're paying big hotel bills, and what we did was we wrote songs instead of going to where we were supposed to be.
Well,
and so,
I think that's the right thing to do.
So Randy came along and he made that song happen, and finally finished it, and it's a great song. So it's a Randy Brand, Randy Palmer song.
Yay. The next song, which is written just by you, is Deeper Water. Tell us about that one.
Okay, this is when in 1968 my parents decided they were going to build a cabin in the mountains of New Mexico, and I was a middle school, junior high age boy, and that was the most exciting thing that had ever happened to me at that point in time, was to build that cabin, especially with my dad. I mean, I got to know him in a whole new way, in a great way, and but there was this old gentleman. His name was M.B. Allen. He used to come by and he used to steal me from the construction and take me fishing.
Oh,
and so it's
MB's cool.
MB was great, and he was always showed up at the right time. And he had a particular way of baiting a hook. You had to put 13 kernels of corn, 2 salmon eggs, 3 marshmallows, and a worm on it, and we caught fish. I don't know what the magic was, but we did that. But this is a song written around MB.
All right.
Okay. Well, it's straight up 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Idling at the gate, we were first in the line. I was 13 years old. He was shouting stories about the ones that got away and the ones that are bound for glory. Old Bill Gallagher had a knowing smile when he opened up that gate. He said, $3 for that kid and $6 cause you shave. I see you got a new fishing buddy. I hope you teach him right. MB grinned and said, hey Bill, we're having fish tonight. He said, cast your line into deeper water. Leave the past behind. Welcome to the wonder of an ancient love affair between a fish and a fisherman. You got to take a chance if you hope to reel her in. Reel her in. So like a bucking horse, that old Jeep, well, it bounced around that lake to a secret cove that MB called his Sea of Grace. And it was on that sacred shore he imparted this wisdom about love and war, good and bad, living and fishing. He said, cast your line into deeper water. Leave the past behind. Welcome to the wonder of an ancient love affair between a fish and a fisherman. You got to take a chance if you hope to reel her in. Reel her in. Now we're 50 years down this road and I'm still coming back. Got my grandson at my side and we're bouncing down this track to a secret cove, a sacred shore. I know just what to say about the ones that are bound for glory and the ones that get away. I'll say cast your line into deeper water. Leave the past behind. Welcome to the wonder of an ancient love affair between a fish and a fisherman. You got to take a chance if you hope to reel her in. I'll reel her in, yes, reel her in. Thank you.
Great song.
Thank you.
I love your descriptiveness. Really, really good. You have another song called Blow, Wind, Blow, like it is today.
Well, that comes with the fascination from the Dust Bowl. Mm-hmm. And if you saw the Rich Burns documentary, the Worst Hard Time, well, it was written from the book The Worst Hard Times, and it was called the Dust Bowl. Mm-hmm. And this is a song written from that. And this comes from my last album, and it's called Blow, Wind, Blow. Well, he looks across the kingdom, the acres that he owns of the Llano Estacado. It's a place he makes his home. You know this homestead, it's not easy. Claim the land and plant your mark for 320 acres, just enough to make a start. And then it's blow, dirt, blow these acres into dreams. You can't make her whole unless you give her back her heart and you leave behind the greed. Oh, but the cowboys and the Indians, they both disagreed, and they said this land was made for grace, not cotton and not wheat, 'cause it is home to the buffalo, then the sacred cow. When you turn this sod over, you're gonna drive her spirit out. And then it's blow, dirt, blow these acres into dreams. You can't make her whole unless you give her back her heart and you leave behind the greed. And then the dust stood as deep as the snow, covered all the fence posts and the windows and the doors, and the old folks and the baby, we just prayed they might survive as they choked on dirt all through the night. Because it's blow, dirt, blow these acres into dreams. You can't make her whole unless you give her back her heart and you leave behind the greed. Unless you give her back her heart and you leave behind the greed.
tell you what, that is a very nice guitar. It's got a great sound. Those Laraveys are something else.
I love this guitar.
It sounds wonderful. It really does. Also, for our listening audience this evening, if you could tell them where they'd find you on the World Wide Web to buy your music.
Sure. At randypalmermusic.com.
Okay.
And then you can catch me at CD Baby. I mean, all the outlets. It's everywhere.
Okay.
And the last album's called Waterline.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Your next song is Onward.
Onward. This is Memorial Day 2 years ago at the Kerrville Folk Festival. It had rained cats and dogs the night before. I'd been a finalist for the New Folk competition. And I had it's 3 years ago. I mean, 3 years ago this June, and I'd been a finalist and I hadn't won, and I was a little disappointed. And it rained so bad that night. My wife had come to see me perform, but she didn't plan on spending the night there. She was going to stay in a nice place, but instead she stayed in my tent because the water rose and the creek blocked the way, and she couldn't leave.
Oh no!
And so the two of us. We're in this little bitty tent together, and everywhere you touched, it leaked, you know.
Oh,
and
man.
our mattress was floating by the time we woke up in the morning. But what I did when I opened the tent flap that morning, about 5 in the morning, I opened the tent flap, and there were two gentlemen walking Memorial Day morning, carrying a flag, and they had on their vests with their medals on and stuff, and they were, and I thought they loved somebody, they lost somebody, and it really moved me. And that very same week in the paper had been a story about a young man who had been embedded in with the troops in Fallujah on that latest rush through there at that point. Oh, wow. And he had passed away, and he left a wife and 2 little boys. Oh. And so I thought about putting their stories together. Mm-hmm. And this is what it came out of. Rows of crosses march across the meadow to where I stand at the grave of my father. I held my breath when the rifles thundered. The chaplain said, "We must move on. Onward, this question haunts my mind. Onward, was it worth my daddy's life? And I remember mother's sadness, tears that fell on the flag that they gave her. A bugle sounded, she called him hero. She whispered, lover, how can I move onward? This question haunts my mind. Onward, it was such a sacrifice. Onward, into the great unknown. How will I move on? I stand before you and I salute. Is he the reason in my wine guess for him I'd fight or die. So I'll place flowers beside your marker and bow my head, and I'll thank you, Father. Was it worth it? You can tell me now that I'm older. Just speak the truth. Help me move onward. Onward. This question haunts my mind. Onward. Was it just the sacrifice? Onward into the great unknown. How will I move on? Onward. When is the dying finally done? Onward. Sorry, I got choked up.
No, that's fine.
I was
That's
thinking
a
about that
beautiful
little
song.
boy, and the line was, right standing next to me is my son. And is he worth it all? You know, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it just got to me. It does that ever so often. So.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to do a song called Somewhere Down the Line next. One thing I would like to compliment you on is your choice of guitars. There's very few guitars. I mean, there's very few guitars that really record like a Larrabee does or sound like a Larrabee. They're fantastic guitars.
Wow.
Available at Lancaster Music, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I bet Mike Murphy at Murphy's Music.
No, he doesn't
Does he?
have
He doesn't carry
Larrabee.
them?
He doesn't have them, but Ted Brooks does have them.
All right.
That's in Lancaster.
They're great
Texas.
guitars.
Great guitars.
Yeah.
You and I are doing a show together, what, in about a month?
That's
or
right.
something?
And
June 8th.
and
Randy Brooks.
Randy Brown.
Randy Brown.
Brooks. It's the Randy's show.
Yeah.
And he and Randy Brown have written a couple of songs
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
too,
we were talking
so-
about
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to... Anyway, somewhere down the line.
Somewhere down the line. This is written around the idea of I'm bad about daydreaming. So this is a song all about daydreaming. In my dream, I'm an engineer just rolling down this track. And I'm headed west across the Rio Grande, and I'm never looking back. Up into the Rockies, across the other side, to the Badlands and the canyons where outlaws go to hide. And that'd be somewhere down the line, across the Great Divide, where the dreams I dream, they come alive. Somewhere down the line, the stars are shining bright. I'll be a hero or a villain, somewhere down the line. You know, in my dreams, I'm honest Abe with a pen in my hand, and I craft those words that speak the truth about freedom in this land. And then I turn into Jesse James with blood as cold as ice, a bandana stretched across my face and my gun at my side. And that'd be somewhere down the line, across the Great Divide, where the dreams I dream, they come alive. Somewhere down the line, where the stars are shining bright, I'll be could cross the Jordan into the promised land, or I could ride with Don Quixote, hold $1 million in my hands. It's all a great adventure, so saddle up and ride somewhere down the line. You know, it's hard to be a pioneer in a settled land. So I've been thinking of homestead in heaven, and I'm making up a plan. I'm gonna sneak around those pearly gates, so I know everything is true. Like D.B. Cooper took the money and the parachute, and he's gone somewhere down the line, across the great divide, where the dreams I dreamed, they come alive. Somewhere down the line, the stars are shining bright. I'll be a hero or a villain. Somewhere down the line, I'll be a hero or a villain. Somewhere down the line. Sorry, yeah.
And we will sooner or later be both, won't we?
Yeah, we will be.
Somewhere
We
down
will
the
be.
line. It's so beautiful. Is such a neat name for a song, and could describe a lot of different things.
Well, and it's I am one of the luckiest people you're going to meet. And the reason
me in that list.
Yeah, one of the reasons is because of the woman I married.
Put me in that list.
She's great. She's a treasure, and this is a song about the ups and downs in life, but also about the goodness of just hanging in there. She forgave the lies I told her, and all the ways I broke her heart. She let me walk outside and walk back in and begin with a new start. She lets me love her, clean and pure, and she puts her hand in mine as I'm reaching out for hers. And that's so beautiful, it's so fine, it's so flesh and blood, and so divine. Not to be alone in this universe. She belongs to me, and I belong to her. You know, every single morning I am more amazed. She can see down deep inside me, the best me I'll ever be. But she lives with the progress of this old piece of work, and she loves me just like I am, for better or for worse. And that's so beautiful, it's so fine, it's so flesh and blood, and so divine. Not to be alone in this universe. She belongs to me, and I belong to her. You know, I'm on the trail of this girl that stole my heart, and winning her every day is what sweetness is about. And she protects me from the cold, safest warmth I've ever felt. So thank our lucky stars, let's keep our secrets to ourselves. And that's so beautiful, it's so fine, it's so flesh and blood, and so divine, not to be alone in this universe. She belongs to me, and I belong to her. Yeah, she belongs to me, and I belong to her.
I really like that. Very nice.
Thank you.
I think you probably speak for a lot of people when you with a song like that. I know I could crawl into that lyric real easy. So great lyric, by the way. Helen, I get the feeling this next song is
about you.
Me. Yeah. Old bones. It's about the way I feel, the way my knees been feeling lately. But,
yeah, he doesn't look
no,
his
this song
age, but
probably,
he's feeling it here lately.
Knowing this guy, though, he's probably writing about some Jurassic Park type thing, and he's gonna all of a sudden I'm gonna
kind of
become
a dinosaur.
I started to say I could become one before the night. So
yeah, this song's about a granddad. And so
That's too.
I over my oldest grandson will be 2 here in June, and so I'm thinking a lot about what it means to be a good granddad. So this is a hope for her. Well, he had old bones and a hero's eyes, and had that look that would draw me inside of his secrets and the stories that he told of love lost, days grown old. They were sacred truths that I was swore to keep, and I'd cross my heart. I'd say you can trust me. We're blood brothers. Ever since that day we pricked our fingers and blood was exchanged. You know, Granddad had a way with me. He could make me a part of his story and be a compadre. Riding fast, wind at our backs, we were headed west. He was more than an old man on a cane with a shaking hand. We were 2 desperados. We were the best of friends. And I remember the day that he died, the phone rang. My mama cried, and I stood there, and I shook my fist at God, said, please don't take this man that I love. But Granddad had left a prayer for me to be strong and grow in his family and be a compadre. Unto the very end, keep riding west until we meet again. Yeah, be a compadre. Unto the very end, keep riding west until we meet again.
So, Randy, did you ever think, when you were growing up, did you ever think that the bond that you felt between you and your granddad, and I think all of us had a great granddad, a wonderful granddad, can identify that feeling. Yeah. And really, all we wanted to do is be like him.
Yeah. My granddad was very quiet, but he was thoughtful. And
my granddad, as most people would probably understand, was not real quiet.
Yeah,
he was profound.
And my granddad could go to sleep anywhere. And I came home when we were newly married, and we came home, and he was in the backyard laying out in the middle of the grass. I thought, oh no, he died. No, he was just asleep. He was just he came by and decided to take a nap. So
I guess they didn't have fire ants where he lived.
Being that we have two, or chiggers. Being that you have two, were both your granddads dynamic?
Well, no, one passed away before I was born, and the other is my mom's dad.
Yeah. So, I know that one of my granddads who passed away when I was younger. Actually, you talk about going to sleep anywhere. Mm-hmm. He actually went to sleep driving his car and got hit by a train and drug 800 feet, and came out yelling at the driver of the train. And his car was all mangled up. And the bad thing was, he was like the JP.
He's the justice of the peace. Throw the book at the guy.
He's after this, this engineer of the train for hitting him and going to sleep. He said, "Well, I went to sleep. I didn't mean to go to sleep."
Jeez. Your next song is 60 Years of Love.
Oh, okay. My parents are great. I'm a blessed person. I have a good marriage. I have parents that are just rocks. My mom's in the hospital tonight.
Oh,
she's we're at that point in life where every week I go to the doctor with one or the other of my parents.
Yeah.
And tonight she's a rockette.
Yeah, and tonight she's in a safe place, and so this is a little song that came from one of their visits to the hospital and watching my dad take care of my mom. Mama's resting on the bed, body's weak and my daddy's scared. Been touch and go all through the night. So he reaches out, he takes her hand and says, "God, please, could you understand? 60 years of love is not enough." And he sees her as his bride, young and beautiful, standing by his side. With all the years they've been through the good, the bad, they're living proof that 60 years of love is not enough. Well, they were teenage kids that broke the rules. They got married young in high school when they eloped to Tucumcari, New Mexico. So he worked 2 jobs, they made ends meet. She finished high school with a baby, and 60 years have come and they've gone. So my brother and I step off to the side and Daddy looks deep into Mama's eyes, and he says everything will be good. So he counts his blessings one by one, and he says we have not yet begun. 60 years of love is not enough. And he sees her as his bride, young and beautiful, standing by his side. With all the years they've been through the good, the bad, they're living proof that 60 years of love is not enough. So he counts his blessings one by one, and he says we have not yet begun. 60 years of love, 60 years of love, 60 years of love is not enough.
So have your parents heard the song?
Have my parents heard it?
Uh-huh.
Yes, they have.
They love it?
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, the first time I sang it for them, I bawled through it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
You know
like-
what? You're a good
Yeah.
man if you've got that kind of reverence for your
Yeah.
parents, and
There-
you're willing to share emotion with it. There ain't a damn thing wrong with that. You know, this next song is about celestial bodies.
I know. Venus chases the moon.
And you know
Yeah.
what?
What?
Speaking of a celestial body, did you know he and Yvonne are real good buddies?
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
she's an
wow.
Amarillo girl.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she is a
That'll make
she's
lot
a
of people in this
treasure.
room happy.
You know.
She is.
She is a treasure.
She's
Yeah, we don't know each
wonderful.
other real well, but we have this kind of mutual thing going on in Facebook,
Oh, good.
saying hi and
And y'all
stuff.
do some shows
Yeah,
together.
we've done some shows together, and
Yeah. She's great.
I'm gonna tune a little just in case. That will make it better. This is a song that Randy Brown and I wrote together. This is another one of those, we should have been taking advantage of all that Folk Alliance had to offer, but instead we stayed in our room and wrote a song. This was Randy's idea, and I contributed to it, but it was mostly Randy's idea.
But isn't that what you're supposed to do because of Folk Alliance?
Oh yeah,
Well, there
yeah,
you go.
yeah. You're there to celebrate songwriting, so
There you go.
we celebrated all by ourselves.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, the starlight breaks the silence, the colors fade to gray. Stars all talk among themselves along the Milky Way. Andromeda's not speaking, she hums a mournful tune, and Venus chases the moon. Setting sun to morning light, am I the only one staring at this starry host, regretting what I've done? Mars is gently setting, Orion's in the swoon, and Venus chases the moon. She whispered, I am sorry, I turned away, so what more is left to say? If I had spoke the truth, would I be standing here, feeling like a falling star about to disappear? Or a footnote in the mountains, a black and white cartoon, watching Venus chase the moon. She whispered, I'm sorry. I turned away. So what more is left to say? Well, if I headed back right now, she might still be home. But the promises are broken, so I'll stand here all alone and watch these stars fade one by one, the sun to come up soon, and Venus chase the moon. Watching Venus chase, watching Venus chase the moon.
Nice.
What
You need to market that one to James Taylor. I could hear him doing that.
Well,
sure.
that song had a little backstory that I forgot to tell you.
Oh yeah, tell us.
We made up rules for. We were sitting there and we were thinking we're going to write a song. We're going to sit down and write a song. Okay, here's an idea. Okay, 3 things have to happen for this song to happen. The first one is we have to look up something on the internet. And so, because we knew nothing about stars or anything. And the second one was that it had to be a sad love song. And the third rule was that, let me think what the third rule was. Look on the internet, sad love song, and we had to use a chord we'd never used before. So
That's a good challenge.
So that was a fun challenge.
That's awesome. Came up with a great song.
Earlier, when you and I were hanging out and you were doing your sound check, you were doing this next song. You were going to close the show with this part of the show with tonight, and that's 1965. And you know, for those of us that lived through it, it brings back a lot of imagery of the. For me, I always think of. I had a '65 Chevy, and but I really think of. That's when musically, America started fighting back. Yeah. Because we had the Birds and the Turtles and all of them came out, and all doing Dylan songs, you know. But they were we fought back in the folk rock field, is how we got back in it. And we actually, I think George Harrison had said the Birds were the only group that ever forced him to write a song. And, you know, Roger McGuinn's playing.
Great. The guy who produced my record, Merle Brigante, he comes from that era, and he played in all those bands, and he knew all those people, and I'm fascinated when I talk to him.
Of course, we're talking about 1965.
That's right. Yeah, but this song was written from a song prompt that I'd written down some things one day, and I just picked one, and it was naive. Well, last time I felt totally naive, so that's where this song comes from. Hear the snap of sheets hanging on the line as a warm breeze sweeps the yard. fills this place with the smell of clean. I hear the beating of my heart as I lay here in fresh cut grass and watch the clouds drift by. You know, life was sweet and it was just for me in the summer of 65. You know, I still hear that whomp as that ball hit my glove. I was squatting behind home plate, 2 outs, 3 runs on. Oh, the count was full at 3 and 2 and the air's electrified. Yeah, he fanned that flame, we won that game in the summer of 65. 'Cause we were innocent, we were so naive, we did not understand Vietnam or Martin Luther King. And the world was spinning faster and our days were slipping by and our questions started mounting in the summer of 65. You know, 65 was the year of Watson, the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And we all sang "We Shall Overcome," not knowing what it meant. But it made the old folks nervous and put fear in their eyes. I guess the status quo was DOA in the summer of 65. Yeah, we played moonlit games of kick the can and sneaking in the dark, fighting off the Viet Cong invading the neighbor's yard. Oh, the feeling, it's with me in the stillness of the night. We started playing war a whole lot more in the summer of 65. 'Cause we were innocent, we were so naive, we did not understand Vietnam or Martin Luther King. And the world was spinning faster and our days were slipping by and our questions started mounting in the summer of 65. Yeah, so here I am, I'm an older man, I'm approaching 65. And if I could, I'd like to leave something good behind. Oh, maybe for my grandkids, leave darkness turn to light. But the best I can do is to give to them a summer like 65. 'Cause we were innocent, we were so naive, we did not understand Vietnam or Martin Luther King. And the world was spinning faster and our days were slipping by and our questions started mounting in the summer of 65. Yeah, the questions started mounting back in the summer of 65.
It's been such an honor to have you here tonight, and I'm so looking forward to you coming back and doing the Randys.
Helen, I'm looking forward to. I've got a workup back in '68 now to have to do after that. So, you know.
Yeah.
When Randy Brown has a '63 song.
Okay.
So
we'll have to warn Randy Brooks.
Don't worry, he'll come prepared.
He'll come prepared, I'm sure. It was great having you here this
Thank
evening.
you. Thank
and I
you.
want to also thank our studio audience that's here tonight that came out to see you, as well as the Facebook audience that's watching. Want to thank Reno and Gabby back in the engineer booth, Gene and Barbara Moore, and Bruce Davis for the wonderful pictures that they take for us. And, of course, Randy. With him, we couldn't do this. So
And Helen.
you all are in the music room. Keep tuning in.
With Randy Palmer.